Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Isa and in this video I am going to do a first impressions on Colourpop in general. I'm going to be using the Good as Gold eyeshadow palettes. This came out as a holiday collection from 2019. So it's been out for a while, but on my Instagram a few people said that they still wanted to see a first impressions on Colourpop with this palette, so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to be filming two looks with this. I'm going to be filming a wearable everyday makeup eye look and also a more glam look. This palette is amazing, I think, for glam looks. So yeah, the first look I'm going to be filming is the everyday look, and yeah, that's it basically. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to show you what the palette, I mean, you probably know what the palette looks like, but I'm going to be showing it anyway. So this is it comes in a box and also comes with a plastic protective thingy. So the front looks the same as the box. And then this is the inside of the palette. It looks so gorgeous. I'm so excited to play with this. I'm going to zoom you in and let's get started on the first look. Before I get started, I actually wanna, I did my brows off camera. I used the NYX eyebrow cake powder actually, and I used the Anastasia, I don't know if it focuses. Well, okay, it's not focusing. I used the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow, there it is. Anastasia Beverly Hills brow gel. This is a mini actually. I bought the mini because I wanted to test it out. So yeah, NYX eyebrow cake powder and Anastasia brow gel. Okay, so I'm gonna be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills eye primer. You only need a little bit of this. I have tried this over the past few days. I'm just blending it out with my finger. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with State of Mind with a Real Techniques brush. This is the Deluxe Crease brush, and I'm gonna just put that in the crease as a transition color. Now I do have to say that the idea of me doing this type of video kind of comes from Judy. She's a really great small makeup YouTuber, and her videos are just really nice. She does really in-depth reviews on Colourpop, and she does 3 looks with one palette on all Colourpop palettes, well, most of them, and also with other palettes, but mostly with Colourpop collections, and that's where I actually got the 2-look idea. Of course it's different because I'm specifically doing an everyday eye look as well as a glam eye look, but yeah, I did get the idea a little bit from her account. That is all in the crease. Okay, so now with a fluffier brush, I'm gonna go in with Trooper. I'm gonna put that in the crease as well. A lot of the brushes I'm going to be using are from Dutch store brands, just like this one actually. I do have some brushes from Real Techniques, but most of them, and Essence, but most of them are going to be from Hema or Ethos, which are the Dutch stores that I buy brushes from as well. Okay, so I didn't bring it all in that far, hope you can see it, because it's a really light yellow. It's not all the way to the inner crease, it's just most of the pigment is on the outer crease and then it's lightly blended into the inner crease. Okay, so that looks good. You could put Trooper all over the lid. Trooper is that matte yellow shade, but I usually like to do a shimmer color anyways on everyday looks, so I am going in with, I hate choosing a metallic color to put on the lid. I'm not gonna be using any of the glitters. I think I'm gonna use 24K or Digging You. But Digging You is also a very, this is Digging You, sorry. Digging You is also a very bright gold shade. I might put that on the outer corner and then 24K in the inner corner. So yeah, I'm gonna use my finger and I'm gonna first do Digging You on the outer portion of my lid. Wow, oh my god, that is so, whoa. Oh my god, I didn't even dip in that much. I hope the camera picks it up. I don't think it is. Okay, so the shimmer is not picking up that well on camera. I'm gonna put it on the other eye too, and hopefully it picks up better. You don't have to be too precise with this, because it is more of an everyday look. You could also put this all over the lid, but I am gonna go in with 24K in a little bit. Okay, I pulled the camera a little bit closer. You can see it a little bit better right now. Before I am gonna apply 24K, I do want to go in with the same brush into Trooper and a touch of Bold Rush. And Bold Rush is this brown color in the corner, because I do want to deepen it a little bit more. But I don't want to use a super dark color. This is not the darkest color. There's a darker brown and a black. It just deepens it with a touch, but just enough. See? Now the other eye. See, that makes it a little bit better. Okay, so now I'm going in with my pinky finger into 24K. Oh my god, it's so creamy. I think this is a Super Shock formula. It doesn't say it. It doesn't say which one is a Super Shock formula. No, it just says it has a Super Shock shadow. So I'm guessing it's this one. It has such a creamy formula. It's a formula people talk about when they talk about Super Shock shadows. I hope you can see it, but it's just like this creamy formula. So I get why they advise to do it with your fingers. I don't mind using my fingers. If you do, it is advised to use this with your fingers. Okay, so let's put that in the inner corner. Oh wow. Is that picking up? I hope it is. Okay, so I think I am gonna go in with digging you in this inner corner first. Just tapping it lightly and then dip back in with my pinky on 24K and then just pressing that. Okay, so 24K is sheer and let me swatch it. 24K is very sheer and has a lot of glitters. So you can't even really see that because it's so sheer. Okay, so now let's move on to the lower lash line. I do have some fallout. I don't know if you can see it. So I'm gonna brush that away first. I'm gonna take a makeup wipe. So first I'm going in with the concealer. So now we can go on to the lower lash line. And I'm not gonna do anything crazy because it is an everyday look, but I do like to take the shadow on the lower lash line anyways. So I am gonna take a fluffy blending brush. It's a small fluffy brush. And I'm gonna go into the nude first, the State of Mind color. Okay, and then with that same brush, I'm actually gonna go into Trooper, which is the yellow color, and tap off my brush. And connecting it at the outer corner. So that's basically it for the lower lash line. I'm actually gonna add a tiny touch of that Bold Rush on the outer corner with that same brush actually. So now I'm gonna go in with mascara. Okay, so for the last thing I do want to add an inner corner highlight and I'm gonna try and use 24K for that. Oh, okay, that actually works quite well, but it just leaves a lot of glitter. That's basically it for this look. I hope you like it. It is still with shimmer. Okay, so this is the final look. I am not going to add any face products or a lip product. I don't usually like to wear that on a daily basis. Yeah, that's basically the everyday look on this palette. I hope you like this look, and now I'm going to show you the very glam look. Okay, so it's the next day and today I'm going to be filming the glam look with the Good as Gold palette, and I'm going to zoom you in and I will show you how I will do a glam look with this palette. Okay, so first of all, I am once again going to be priming my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer. I am really going to try to stay in frame because I feel like with the other look I didn't stay in frame that well. Okay, so I'm going to go in with a very fluffy blending brush in the shade Trooper. And I'm going to blend that in the crease. I'm going to create a half cut crease, so you want to blend it up quite high so you can see the contrast at the end when you cut the crease. I am building this color up pretty heavily because it is a really light shade. Okay, so it's all blended out, and right now I'm gonna go in with that same brush into Bold Rush, which is the brown color next to Trooper. And I'm just tapping it, not as much as I did with Trooper, but more of a soft tap, so it's not as pigmented, and just slowly building that color. Putting that on the outer corner first. And then sweeping it in the inner corner once there's less on my brush. It's okay if you get it on the lid, because we're gonna remove that later and then cut the crease anyway. So yeah, that makes it a lot easier if it is okay to get in the crease, on the lid. I'm actually gonna get my color switch, just swiping that over, and I'm actually gonna dip into a combination of Trooper and State of Mind with that same brush again, and then blend that over the edges so it is not as harsh and the yellow still stays in the crease. Okay, so that's blended out. So now with a smaller blending brush, more like this, I am gonna dip into Big Brooch, which is the darkest brown of the palette. So just tapping my brush once and then working that in the outer corner, just like we did the other brown, but then staying a little bit lower. Once most of the pigment is off the brush, I'm gonna work into the inner crease again to slowly build that color that is gonna really enhance the contrast of the cut crease that we're gonna do. Now going over with that first blending brush again, just making sure it is all blended nicely. You don't have any harsh lines. Okay, so now I've darkened the crease and I am gonna go in with Let's Do It. And Let's Do It is the matte black of the palette. And I'm gonna do that with a smaller brush. I'm first gonna go in with this brush. This is a small crease brush. And I'm just gonna lightly dip in this palette once. Just, you know, one tap, tapping off my brush. And then slowly but surely gonna build that color. And I'm also gonna bring this into the crease eventually. I'm gonna do that with a smaller brush as well, just to create, so we can create that contrast for the cut crease. And be careful when you're using black, because you can always add more, but it's really hard to blend away black. Okay, so now I am carefully gonna swipe it to the crease. And it's actually easy to blend this on the lid, because we're gonna remove everything that's on the lid anyways. Okay, so now the brush is completely, like, all the shadow is off the brush, so I'm going into the crease really to blend it there. Not adding any more product, just softly blending everything together. Actually gonna go in with this once again with a little bit of Trooper and just lightly blending over the inner corner so we don't lose that yellow. Okay, so I'm liking how that looks. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now. So now I am gonna clean up the lid with a cotton bud and some makeup remover. If you don't trust yourself with doing this with the cotton bud and makeup remover, just don't do it, because I mean, if you have a good base, if you have a good eyeshadow base, it'll work without doing this. I just like doing it because I don't want to layer so much on my eyes. So now I am putting it a little bit on the back of my hand so I have more control. Just a really tiny amount. And I'm actually gonna apply this with my finger first. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with a flat detailer brush. This is actually the Real Techniques detailer brush. I'm gonna use that to precisely cut the crease. You really just have to take your time while you're doing this, because a cut crease needs to be really precise. I am going over that shadow that we put there, and also here, kind of to blend them a little bit, but also because I'm gonna put another shadow on the outer part of the cut crease. Now I'm gonna take a really small pencil brush. This is just a really small paintbrush actually. And I'm gonna dip into that eye primer. Because this is so small, it is really easy to be super precise with your cut crease. Okay, so it took me a while, but we got there. So first step, what I want to do is I want to go into Gold Star, which is this gold shade. It looks gorgeous. I'm gonna swatch it for you. It is so nice. I was playing with this yesterday to see like what I want to do for the glam look, how I want to create the cut crease. I was swatching it and I was like, yeah, this just has to be the lid color, because I wanted to go in with 24K actually, because that makes the contrast really nice. But it's a gold look, so I really wanted to go in with the intense gold. Okay, so I just made a mistake. I actually already went in with the gold that I want to put on the lid. But what I want to do first is go into Nugget About It. Nugget About It is this dark browny blackish shade. It's actually really beautiful. I'm gonna put that on my middle finger and just tapping over the edge, over the eyeshadow base and the black eyeshadow meet. Kind of to have a shimmer to blend the shadows, so it's not really a really harsh line when we go into the gold. Okay, so now with my finger as well, I'm gonna go into Gold Star. It's a really beautiful gold. I hope you can see how beautiful it is. Can you? Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so metallic. It's not just a shimmer, it's like a metallic. Oh, I love it. Okay, because we do gotta be careful with how we kind of apply this. I am gonna go in with the same brush again, the Detailer Crease brush from Real Techniques, going into Gold Star, and I am gonna wet the brush because that also helps being more precise. Okay, so now going carefully up to that crease line that we made earlier. And then going to blend that in with that other shimmer shade that we applied. I'm gonna go over with my finger again on this lid because it's not as metallic as the other lid, and it just gives the most metallic look if you do use your finger with this shade. And this is what we have right now. You could leave it like this, just with that gold, but I do want to put the glitter over it. I like glitters. I think they're really nice and it just adds something completely different than what a metallic or shimmer shadow can do. Like, glitter is just such a different thing actually. So I am gonna use Golden Touch. I am gonna use that with my finger again. It does pick up quite a lot. I'm just gonna lightly tap it over my lid. Okay, so it didn't do that much, so I am gonna go in with this brush. It's a flat brush. It picks it up like this, which is fine by me because I just want it as a extra touch. I don't want to use it as for the whole lid. So just press that on there, and it just changes the whole look in my opinion. Okay, so I'm liking what I'm seeing. This is still kind of a first impression. I did play with it a little bit more yesterday before I took my makeup off, just playing it with it, but it is still kind of a first impressions once again, because yesterday I was just watching a series and playing, and this is now actually putting it on, you know. But I do like what I have achieved. I hope the camera picks up how beautiful this gold truly is. I think it kind of is. Okay, so I'm gonna put on concealer, and then we're gonna do the lower lash line. Okay, so my concealer is down, and what I'm first gonna do is, because I removed all the fallout that I got on my face, so I removed that with a makeup wipe. So I also got a sharp edge on both my sides. So what I'm first gonna do is I'm going in with the brush that I use for the black. I didn't put any other products on this, and I'm just gonna blend those edges so it becomes really easy to blend it in with the lower lash line. Also gonna take the first brush that we use for the yellow color. I just blended it a little bit too far. That happens. Just going over it with my concealer brush, and that is all good now. So first going in with this brush, blending over those edges. Going in with the brush I use for the black, very carefully blend the edges. Okay, so that is mostly blended out well enough. So now I'm gonna go in with this blending brush, but it is smaller on one side. It kind of looks like the, because this is a Dutch brand, it kind of looks like the Real Techniques base eyeshadow brush, but this one is fluffier. So the one that I have is a little bit more dense. So what I'm going to use this for first is Trooper. I'm going to dip into Trooper. I'm just going to blend that on the lower lash line. Also connecting that at the outer corner with the shadow that we also blended out there. I'm going to drag that into halfway across my lower lash line. But on the when I reach halfway, I'm not going to blend it out down. So now I'm going to take a clean fluffy blending brush again, and I am going to dip into Bold Rush, which is the brown shade next to Trooper, and I'm going to first place that at the outer corner and then slowly blending that in to more further into the lower lash line, also connecting it, really connecting it at the outer corner shadows. I'm just blending powder that I got too far, because I used the light colors, it's really easy to blend it away. So I got the eyes finished. I'm gonna apply mascara. Okay, so I applied mascara, and I actually do want to go in with a little bit more eyeshadow, because I feel like the black has kind of disappeared on my outer corners. So I'm gonna go in with the brush that I use for the black, and I'm gonna go into Let's Do It and as well Nugget About It, which is the shimmer. This is the Let's Do It is the matte black, and Let's Nugget About It is the shimmer shade, the darkest shimmer shade. I want to do this because I feel like I lost the intensity of the black outer corner. So just tapping it lightly on the outer corner. And then I am actually also gonna take, it only has yellow on it, so I am gonna dip into Trooper, tapping off the excess and going over that edge again, so it doesn't lose that color. Okay, so that are the eyes done. Yeah, that's the glam look done. I'm gonna give you a close-up. I like that the outer corner is now really intense. I just don't think the shimmer doesn't translate as well on camera as it does in real life. I actually forgot to add one more thing, of course, and that is an inner corner highlight. And I think that 24K is actually gonna be too gold, as this is the shade 24K. Too gold as an inner corner highlight for me because I'm so fair, but I am gonna try it. However, it is a super sharp shadow, so it might be hard to apply this with a brush, but I'm gonna try it. Okay, so it's not that bad. It is warmer and darker and also more golden than I would like to go with my highlighter, but it does really fit nicely with this look. So I'm also gonna apply a little bit to my brow bone. I don't think you can even see it on camera, but I did add a little bit to the brow bone. So I'm gonna zoom you out and I'm gonna give my final thoughts on the palette. Okay, so this is also the final look. I am gonna link all the products that I used on my face down below. So, the palette. I wrote down my notes and thoughts because otherwise I'm gonna forget. First of all, I really like the palette. I like the formula, I liked how easy it blends, the pigmentation is really nice. Even on a shade like Trooper or State of Mind, which is this the lightest color in the palette. And the pigmentation is just, on me, I'm really pale, so this color is a little bit darker than my skin tone. And it is really, even that is really pigmented. And same goes for Trooper and just all the shades. The metallics are really nice. And the Super Shock Shadow, I just really like the Super Shock Shadow. So I did play around with the shade Glided yesterday. And Glided is this glitter. It's a pressed glitter, and it is it has more of an orange undertone, and I found it really hard to play with it because the glitters didn't leave my finger. And I did try applying it with a brush, and that worked better, like with a packing brush, something like this. This is the Essence eyeshadow brush. It's just literally called eyeshadow brush. That's not really helpful, but this is the Essence eyeshadow brush, apparently. I hope it focuses. There you go. Okay, so this is the Essence eyeshadow brush. It is pretty dense and small but compact and dense. It worked better with this brush, but it's not the best glitter that I've used. I have the Tati Beauty palette, and compared to that, those glitters are just great in general, but like this shade is not the best. I did like Golden Touch, which you saw is on my eyes today, and yeah, I did really like that shade. So I don't know, I think I can get my use out of Glided. I just have to kind of work with it. It's a little harder to work with it, but it is still a really nice glitter. So the mattes blend really well, and yeah, I like the formula, I like the color, I like the metallics and the shimmers. Also, Nugget About It, I thought when would I use that? Nugget About It is the dark shimmer shadow. I thought when would I use that, but I used it today. Also because maybe it's just because it's there, I used it, but it did really work with this look. It's really nice that they put in a dark shimmer as well. So I did notice a little bit of fallout or kickback in the pan. I don't really mind that. It also has some fallout on my face. I usually don't really mind that because I go over with a wipe, and most of the time everything is gone. So yeah, my first impressions are basically, I like the formula, I like the shades. Because if you don't like gold, this is not a palette that you're gonna like. So yeah, basically, Big Brooch had the most fallout, which is the satin shade. And that's overall my review, my first impressions, and my looks on this palette. And yeah, I do recommend it, actually. I really like, if you like gold shadows, of course. Yeah, I hope you liked my tutorials on my looks, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like. Comment down below if you have any points of improvements, because this is my first makeup video. If you have any points of improvement or things you did specifically like about this video. This idea of creating two looks with one palette is something that I do want to continue doing with other palettes. I have a few Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow palettes, and I also have the Tati Beauty palette and some other palettes. But yeah, I want to do the two looks one palette continuously, creating an everyday eyeshadow look, but also creating a really glam eyeshadow look. So yeah, this is gonna be the end of this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please like it. Leave your points of improvements or things that you specifically liked or didn't like about this video, because that really helps me. That can really help me. And if you want to see more, please subscribe.